I do love Bowers and Wilkins 606S2, including its smaller brother 607, but only in small portions, like a very tasty, rich flavored cake that you like eating, but if you overeat it, you will feel fatigued and overwhelmed. It had an energetic sound, the top end was wild and bursting with rhythm. It is that a treble has been pushed to deliver a punchy, detailed sound. It was a sound that truly brought house to its feet. But it was also a speaker that is very polarizing, as it requires careful system matching and placement. It really required good treatment and planning, and still music that is bright by nature sounded really harsh. And to make everything paradoxal, listening up until that point, when it becomes fatiguing, it is kind of a unique experience in this price range. That was so extraordinary to me, and now we have a new generation of these speakers and what it brings to us. And before going into sonic quality of these speakers, let's speak what is different to the previous generation. While aesthetically very similar, its inner construction have come to some interesting changes. The number one fault for the bright sound of Bowers and Wilkins was aluminum tweeter. Treble is usually resolved with tweeter, so if any improvement is supposed to happen in that area, improving it is the way. And look and behold, titanium tweeter. Science and magic I leave to other YouTubers to explain. What I will focus on is how this affects the sound it reproduces. In short, is sound less bright? Yes. New sound is more lean, one that is more shaped around edges to give sound more closer to baseline of reproduction. Was this a magic bullet that solves all its problems? No. But it does help to make this more versatile speaker for different types of audiophiles. The major improvement I saw is with sound being more open. It felt that by creating this more lean sound, they actually expanded the depth of soundstage a little bit. So it is now very interesting combination of punchy dynamics, but also depth. That is a high success in my eyes, that is the biggest departure from the previous generation. Now you have this unique experience of large soundstage that is brimming with details. It also creates soundstage in its way to feel bigger with more impact. It is weighty due to very well controlled bass, but it still lacks a bit transparency and separation for clinical listening that other speakers in this price range offer. But these speakers never really try to appease that crowd. Bass is agile and great. It still lacks a showmanship and presentation of a bigger bass that you can find in tower speakers. But there is enough of bass to satisfy your need, as it gives you sound that it has a definition and strength it needs. A lot of people are advocates for always attaching subwoofer to bookshelf speakers. I personally am not. If you have a need and lacking for more bass, maybe you should have invested in tower speakers instead. But fact is that subwoofer enhances your listening experience and brings more fullness and weight to your music. So investing in subwoofer, if you already have bookshelf speakers, could be a way to go. To combat Bowers and Wilkins brightness, you should look at darker sounding amps. Amps from Denon, Name, Arkham or Electro Compagnet if you can afford it. They could tone down on the brightness, and synergy between them is fantastic, as it focuses on the lower end more and shaves the treble. It can baseline the sound wave enough to help balance a little bit things up. It is not that Bowers and Wilkins can only work with darker sounding amps, but it is a safer bet. One thing I always found interesting about 606 is that I can easily say it has a lot of details, but texture of instruments, hit of snare, bass, vocals, percussion, etc. are not on the level of texture I expected. It could be a nitpick, but usually with the speakers that are punchy and detailed and forward, it usually have mids that are rich with details and texture, so I was a little bit disappointed there. I played some pop, rock, jazz, hip-hop and some electronic music. While I thought that the difference of genres will show its strength and weaknesses, it seemed to me that production was the key difference here. If the production was bright, then the sound can get fatiguing and screeching. Anything that had violins, pianos, acoustic guitars can add some dynamic responses and ranges sound uncomfortable. I know listening to Björk's Vespertine, these speakers in previous generation had a lot of problems, and I'm happy to say that things are more manageable here. It does a better job into shaving those highs and transmuting them better into manageable treble. It still sounds a little bit bright for my taste, but this is way up better than S2. I don't want to focus only on negatives. Music like King Crimson, Anathema, Lupe Fiasco, FX Twin, music with a lot of rhythm and drive will sound very energetic and moving. Its dynamic expression is amazing as it allows for a very moving listen, which again gives a lot of details. It is a reason why Bowers and Wilkins 606 are so amazing. Speakers I would compare them are brighter, energetic speakers in similar price range to them, like Klipsch, Polk, Dali, and Monitor Audio. These are excellent speakers in different price range that I think can work as an alternative if you like this kind of speakers. And I recommend when you consider buying them, you should also test these speakers. Klipsch RP-600M II are much more cheaper than 600 series Bowers and Wilkins. But they have some similarities that if you like punchy, energetic, bright sound, they might be for you. Klipsch RP-600M is a speaker that is rumored to become a legacy speaker soon in their lineup. As the prices have fallen significantly, you can find them really cheap. Now, the main difference is that the details, resolution, and soundstage, they cannot compare with 606. But for entertaining, punchy listen on a budget, you cannot go wrong with Klipsch. Dali Menuet is a bit more expensive than 606, but can be found as a similarly priced in some stores. But it handles those upper treble with far better ease. It is a very musical and entertaining speaker in this regard. We can classify them as very fun speakers as it is easy to listen. And reproduction of details and soundstage is almost even. And I can say that bass have more attack and presence on 606. But if you want better bass, maybe you should look at Dali Opticon speakers. Monitor Audio Gold 105G is more expensive than 606, but these are speakers that sound grand and big. Its lower end is unmatched for bookshelves at this size, but also have a huge soundstage. 606 have a little bit more class as they are more detailed with a tad bit of finesse and precision. But agility and attack, the lower end is much more in Monitor Audio's camp, while preserving soundstage and reach. They are also rocker speakers as they are brimming with fun when you listen to them. So if you like your sound to be big, weighty and massive, yet that it does not compromise too much, then please try Gold. Also a recommendation for Polk R and L Series. I will not go too much in details here as I only experienced R Series. But L Series is closer to price range of 606 and have what I heard similar characteristics. Polk Reference is a punchy speaker which is very energetic, but it delivers a presentation which is more neutral and balanced, so they are much easier speakers to pair and listen. 606 is still better in details, reproduction, but Reference Series by Polk is cheaper and can deliver fun musical sound that is more balanced, so you choose towards what characteristics will your pennies go. Bowers and Wilkins 606 S3 are speakers that I love and speakers that I cannot easily recommend. They're amazing, punchy, with a great soundstage and in the production of details, dynamics and expressions. But they're also very hard to find a great partner. They're talented, misanthropic speakers. And when you are in such a company, sound can become unwelcoming, fatiguing and bright. There are ways to combat this with partnering equipment that can subdue them, but it will always be on the bright side. So you must know what you love and what you have to do to truly unlock the speakers. But when you do, they are amazing as nothing at this level. And they could be your companion that, like for me, you love them and you hate them. Only because you know that they are this close into creating these amazing speakers in this price range that cannot be unbeaten. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that this video can be a guidance into understanding what kind of speakers Bowers and Wilkins 606 truly are, and to give you a vision of alternatives that you can test, try, and maybe buy. And if you want to support me, it's easy. Just like this video and subscribe, and you will help me grow this passion of mine. All the best, bye!